Hello, guess what? It's break time. And it's story time with Jerry. Um, I just want to thank everybody for the nice comments I'm getting for doing this. People seem to be interested in stories about my youth, and I like talking. I don't know if y'all got that or not, but I like to socialize with people. I'm a people person for the most part, if they like me. If they don't like me, then you might get the hint that I know they don't like me, and if you don't like me, how can I like you? You know what I mean? Anyway, I got a few subjects here I could talk about. If you want, if you're interested, if you really want to hear them, do you want to hear some stories? South Carolina youth. Okay, all right. Okay, well, my first one here is about the trailer court I lived in. There was an elderly lady named Rose, and Rose and her husband ran a liquor store. And I talked to her all the time. And one day, I happened to mention that um, I'm trying to make a little bit of money to, buy something. I can't remember what it was I wanted to buy, but she says, "Well, how about this? Would you like to come to work at our store? Um, uh, 3 or 4 hours a day?" And I said, "Okay." I don't remember if I knew what kind of store she ran, but okay, and remember this, I'm only 15, 16 years old. Um, so I asked my mom and dad, and they said, yeah, you could do that. I said, okay. So I went to work for Rose and her husband, and when we pulled up there, I was a little bit uncomfortable about that I was getting ready to go into a liquor store because, I knew that I was too young to be in a liquor store. But evidently, maybe the laws in South Carolina back then weren't as strict as they are nowadays. I don't know. But um, my job consisted of sweeping, mopping, um, dusting off the bottles, wine bottles, liquor bottles, stocking the alcoholic beverages. Um, so yeah, I worked at a liquor store at 15, 16 years old. It was pretty interesting. And I don't remember how much money I made. Probably not very much back then, but of course, things weren't as expensive back then, so you could get more. But who knows? I might have um, wanted the money to go to the movies or something with my friend. Anyway, um, so there's that. I can't remember how long that lasted, but I did it for a little while. Yeah, the liquor store wasn't too far from, I can't remember the army base. There was an army base not too far from it. But, so anyway, there's that. Um, School, the school I was in, in South Carolina, especially back then, this isn't really part of the subject, but you grew up, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes ma'am, no ma'am, sir, yes sir, no sir. That was the big thing. I wasn't used to that from the other states that I'd lived in, but I acquired the courtesy and the politeness in that way and respect real quick, because, it was what you did. That's how you acted. That's how you answered your elders, people of authority. That's just the way you did it. Um, but so I still do that today. I mean, um, even in Oklahoma, and Oklahomans, they do the same thing. Not as prominent as the South, but they do. Um, let's see. The school I was in, South Carolina schools. I didn't notice it in other schools. I've been in a lot of schools because my folks traveled a lot when I was younger. So I've been in a lot of different schools in a lot of different states. But in the South Carolina schools, um, anyway, in the elementary, intermediate, middle schools, junior, maybe junior high, I'm not sure if they went that far, but you get what's called licks. If you do wrong, you get in trouble. Um, they don't just grab you by the arm and say go to the hallway and sit down. No, no, they say, you want your pencils that are in your back pocket, take them out, because they will get broken. Because they have these paddles. All of these teachers had their own paddles, a wood paddle about like this long. Um, you know, they kind of varied, but so you would, on the normal basis, you get 3 licks, and this freaked me out. Mostly all the parents were cool with that. They say, yeah, if my son or daughter does wrong, you give them licks. So it's just that thing, But they would sting a little bit, but it wasn't anything that was supposedly really going to hurt you that bad. Some did, some didn't. I guess it kind of depended on what kind of clothes you wore that day. Um, the PE teacher, physical ed teacher, his paddle was made of a baseball bat, and it was a baseball bat that he'd shaved down to about an inch, inch and a half of a width, and that guy didn't hold back. I fortunately never got licks by him, but this young skinny guy that was in my class, he did something, and they were wearing gym shorts, and 3 licks with that thing, that kid was screaming, and I felt sorry for him. I don't know what he did, but he didn't deserve that. That gym teacher may have gotten in trouble after that. I don't know, but it was pretty wicked. Out of my whole time in South Carolina, I got licks once. Here's my crime. In class, sitting there, me and another guy, his name was Jerry, also Jerry Donaldson. He was sitting over there, and there was a moth in the classroom, and we was both trying to catch it. Okay? So then my punishment was Jerry and Jerry Donaldson to the hallway. Went out there. They say grab your ankles, 3 licks. Pow, pow, pow. Did not hurt. Maybe it was because she was a lady. I don't know. But my fears so much for licks were kind of gone. But still didn't want them, in school also, a couple of at least one of my friends was, his name was Dwayne Gartman, and he was a twin. His brother's name was Wayne, so it was Wayne and Dwayne Gartman. And Dwayne, I think Wayne was in it too, but I'm not sure. But Dwayne played the guitar, and I sang, and there was a talent show coming up, and we wanted to be in the talent show at the end of the year. And we chose, back then, which was the popular song, was Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd. And so we would go, they would allow us, some time to go practice, and I put on headphones and listened to the music. He played guitar, sing it. Man, I was sounding good. I was a pretty good singer back then. Not to blow my own horn, but guess what? The talent show is coming up. And guess who had to move out of state? This guy. Who knows? I could be famous right now. But yeah, we moved, so didn't get to do that. See if I got time to put one more recess. Right after. I say you go to recess and then you go to lunch. When the bell rings, you go to lunch, if I remember right. Anyway, recess. Me and all the guys, we'd go out and we'd play what was called No Man's Stand. And it was a game where, you're in the sand and everybody tries to pull another guy down, and if it pulled you down, you stay down until there's one person left. I was pretty good at that. Back then I was a pretty stout kid. I had strong legs, so that was a big benefit. I was probably one of the best at that. And but Jerry Donaldson, he was a big guy, and he he come over, he took me down, and the next time around, I was pretty good at the, you know, take your leg, sweep it back behind their legs, and then push them, and I got him down. And when I did that, it kind of took him, kind of broke his pride just a little bit, and we almost got into a fight, but we ended up being really, really good friends after that. But it was a fun game. It was one of the things all the guys played. But okay, well, there you go. I went over 10 minutes. And again, all right. I hope you all enjoyed these little stories. And sometime I'd like to do the stories when I could drink a beer and tell them. But I don't know. That'll be those times. I'm usually working at my other house, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, thanks for listening. I appreciate it, and I hope you all are enjoying these things. And I've got more. I got lots more stories if you guys want to hear them. You know, I'm boring you. Don't seem to be. All right, y'all have a good day. See you on the next one.